Welcome to RoXolid Productions, where in this video we are going to check out the Rewind by Design arcade cabinets on display at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2018. So now we are here at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo with
Sam and Rewind by Design.
And if you guys saw, there was a ton of footage from the Phoenix. It was a Game On, right?
Yep.
John Riggs covered these guys. The craftsmanship and artwork that have gone into the Mega Man, DuckTales, and Zelda stand-up cabinets. Dude, you are an artist I'm jealous of. Give me a backstory. How did you get into doing this?
It was one of those things, I wasn't much of a gamer growing up. I didn't play games too much. I remember watching my brother play Legend of Zelda. He would play it, and I'd be the one holding the map, telling him where to go. So it was like doing a rally thing, I was navigating for him and stuff. I did beat Zelda. It's one of the only NES games I've ever played. But I remember being a kid, and I was like, I want to build my own arcade cabinet. My plan back then was just to build a box, put a CRT TV in there, put some NES advantages. But we didn't have any money, so I never got to do it. And so I was watching Tron. I was watching that movie Tron, and then there was a scene in there where the kid turned on the light switch in Flynn's arcade, and I've said this before, but it literally lit a switch in me where I was like, oh my God, I want an arcade, but I don't want to just buy one, I want to build one. And I didn't know if it was possible. I didn't know anything about any of this stuff. And so I saw the King of Kong as well, and I was like, same thing. I was like totally lit, and I was like, I'm gonna do one of these, So I went and measured a Donkey Kong cabinet. I bought a Donkey Kong cabinet to use as a template to make my own Donkey Kong cabinet. I wanted to make a Fix-It Felix Jr., a Donkey Kong Pauline. I've always loved custom one-off stuff. Everybody has a Donkey Kong. Everybody has a Pac-Man. Those staples for the arcades. And I was just like, well, wait a minute. After I built those, why can't we do games that didn't exist in an arcade format, but it has to match everything else? It needs to look like it was made in 1986 or 1985 or whatever, you know what I mean? And so that's what I did. Zelda was the first one that I did. And Zelda was the gold cartridge. It was a shiny gold cartridge. So the cabinet has to be gold. It has to be shiny, and so that's what I did. And then it spawned the rest of these.
So I don't want to peel back the curtain too much, but one thing from a technological standpoint, when these guys came out, well, these weren't out originally, but when these were hot in the 80s, like you mentioned, CRTs were the rave. I can't imagine you're using CRTs in these.
They are CRTs.
Really? Because they look gorgeous. I would have figured that you would have gone LED or LCD.
Because I wanted it to be an immersive experience. So I built these for me. I built these for me. I wanted it, like I said, I wanted it to match the two Nintendo cabinets that I had prior built. So it had to be an immersive experience. It had to be, what if they made this game in 1986? Legend of Zelda would be a horrible game to make for an arcade format, but what if they did make it? What would it have looked like? So it had to have a CRT. There was no negotiation on that. Would it have been easier to use an LCD and a Raspberry Pi and all that? I wanted to be as authentic as possible. That experience to be authentic to the 80s. So, they have CRTs in them.
Now, and then one of the final questions, I have two final questions for you. So you see Mega Man, you see DuckTales, you see The Legend of Zelda, but these are actually packed with more than just those games. Tell me about your decision to do that.
Well, so my original intention, I had PlayChoice 10 was what I was going to put in these. I bought all the material. I bought all the board, the wiring harness, the power supply, all that stuff. I spent $1,200 just buying that stuff, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I want to build more, and I'm not going to keep doing that, and everything's going up because everybody wants that stuff now. So I was like, the simplest solution for me is to be able to put a Nintendo in there. So there's literally a Nintendo with a CRT TV, wired to the joystick, so I'm able to play Mega Man, I'm able to play Donkey without spending $1,200 more money than these already cost me to make. So I just put multi-carts in there because that way I can play different games, not just Zelda. You can play the whole library if you put a power pack in there, or if you put a EverDrive in there. You can have the whole library of NES games in there, at your disposal. So
now, final game before we kind of see where they can find more about you, but so you told me yesterday when we were talking, like me, this man loves G1 Transformers.
I do.
Who is your favorite G1 Transformer of all time? And it cannot be Optimus Prime.
No, it's not Optimus. Skywarp. Skywarp, I've always loved Skywarp. Never had them as a kid, never had any of them. They were too expensive. We had more G.I. Joe. I love G.I. Joe as well. And actually, some of these processes that I do on these cabinets are from, that I taught myself when I was in college making G.I. Joe packaging, custom G.I. Joe packaging. So, but Skywarp is absolutely, the Seekers are my favorite. I like Masterpiece, the Masterpiece and the third party. I just bought some Seekers actually, and they just re-released Generation 1 Starscream, and I'm hoping they do the rest. So yeah, I love those Seekers. Bumblebee as well.
Where can people go if they want to learn more about you, follow you, and just see everything that you guys are up to?
I have plenty of projects ahead. I cannot wait to get started on making some of these new cabinets. You can follow the progress at Rewind by Design on Facebook, and Rewind by Design on Instagram. I document a lot of the stuff that I'm doing.
So cool. As someone who I love modding consoles, seeing the craftsmanship and just the work that I'm jealous. I'm.
That's the thing. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. I mean, I just started out a guy watching Tron. Next thing you know, this happened. You know what I mean? It's just slightly obsessed. So, so anybody can do it, though.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
These cabinets were super cool. I hope you guys all enjoyed our look behind the scenes at them. Now, if you do have any comments or questions, of course, feel free to leave your comments down below. You can also email us at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. Send us a tweet over on Twitter at RoXolid Studios, or the conversation is always going over on Facebook at facebook.com/RoXolid Productions. If you want to help support the show as well, get early access to all of our content and a whole lot more, make sure you join us over on Patreon at patreon.com/RoXolid Productions. If you liked what you see here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you are kept up to date with each and every new video we do post. My name is Gary. This has been RoXolid Productions at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2018 and the Rewind by Design arcade cabinets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.